Here on the map, Chef. Look at them. 60 of the bastards.
Okay, well, good luck taking them
Yeah, yeah.
safely.
Well, there's quite a few close to your base. Oh, we've got to pause.
Okay, good. I
Yeah.
mean, not good that they're paused. It's just good that because Hurricane Irma, I have an electrical. I live in an older neighborhood, like the houses were built back in the 40s and 50s,
Yeah.
and I have an electrical substation not too far from me, and Hurricane Irma damaged that substation
Oh.
a couple years back, and they repaired it. But now, ever since they quote unquote repaired it, about once a month we get an explosion out of that substation. These transformers pop, and our power goes out. And actually, it was the last time I casted you on my channel
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that happened to me. And this is exactly what Capture Age did right before my power went out.
Uh-oh.
It paused the game. So every time Capture Age pauses unexpectedly, I end up expecting to end up in the dark,
Yeah, that's fair, that's fair.
which made me say I got all scared. I didn't know what to do.
I'm just going to see what chat has been. Sokol, this is 1 sec.
I said to myself, "It's dark. I wish Fluffy was here to protect me."
Yeah, I don't mind the dark. I am a gigantic pussy. But the dark itself, I don't mind. I quite consider the dark an ally. The thing is, when you're in the darkness, you can see out of it, but people outside can't see in, right? So,
Yeah.
let's talk for a moment about the absolute map hack potential for Newp here, by the way. Sure, you may argue his TC's a little bit more exposed than the other two guys, but he's got a lovely hill on the front of his base that if he drops a castle on will give him huge protection. And this wood line,
Yeah.
like, that's to the right of Stee. There's so much resources here that Newp's going to get, and who's going to go over there to check?
Nobody.
Right? There's 2 packs of deer, there's 3 gold piles, 2 stone piles, berries. You can farm wood there forever. Like,
Yeah.
and I also think Stee has a pretty, not Stee, Sokol has a pretty nice base as well. Like, behind that extra wood line.
Yeah, these 2 3-tile golds that are in between him and Newp might be a little bit tricky for him,
Yeah.
as well as the other one that's over towards the edge of the map. But yeah, both of these guys, I think, have the more advantageous map. Although the back of Steve's map isn't that bad either. He's got one,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 gold piles,
Yeah.
as well as 2 gold piles and 2 pretty good sized wood lines as well. So
Resources better than they are in the 1v1s, but in fairness, with the help of the TSU sponsorship that we got, a lot of map gen testing was done before the maps were decided, and the 3v3 was considered. The 3v3, sorry, the 3 players map was considered and tested a lot when we were choosing the maps for the tournament overall to make sure that we had balanced generations. Like, we wanted the TCs to be like evenly split apart at all times and stuff like that, and that's how we ended up with the maps that we've got.
yeah, but you can't protect this stuff with town centers, so you got to be kind of smart as far as how you go out there and start taking that stuff. You
Well, yeah,
don't want to get
Detonate castles
greedy.
is one way, right? Khmer houses is another way. But a civilization I don't think we've seen enough of in this tournament, Chef, is the Bulgarians.
Great post, yeah.
Yeah, build yourself a little dollhouse by a bunch of eco, especially in these finals where there's potentially 2 players who could attack you at any given moment. You're not going to be able to have enough army in 2 places to defend all of your villages. But a dollhouse for 10, 15 of them to jump in. I think that's why Georgia's Armenians have actually surfaced quite a bit as well, because you can hide inside those fortified churches too, right?
Yeah, and they act like a defensive building for Georgians as well, right? As long as they've got a villager or a relic in them?
For both civs, yeah, they act as pretty shitty TCs. They have 6 range. They don't benefit from archer upgrades, like, but it's a garrison point, right?
Yeah.
Place to hide. Steve pushing some deer. We see Sokol pushing deer as well. I'm glad to see Steve pushing deer this round. He was a little lazy with it on Kawasan. Seeing his altered approach here is good.
Been keeping an eye on Newp here. He still hasn't moved out to any of this hunt that I can see. So I think he's kind of leaving proverbially a little bit of meat on the bone here.
Second lumber camp being taken by Newp 2. And again, for the second match, Steve being the lowest score early on, but Newp not being the highest score, which he was by quite a margin on Kawasan. But again, you mentioned just how good he is on those water maps, on those hybrid maps. He likes boats.
Well, there's no water on this map.
No, there is not. Not a lick.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens here.
Somebody redeemed a dehydrate, and this map was created.
He's not taking any of the deer though, Fluff.
No. None of the deer. And you only get 1 boar on Land Madness as well. So not taking the deer does hurt. It will delay your uptime. You can see he's already got 6 villagers on the berries, which isn't really ideal at all.
Mongol guy isn't taking any of the deer either.
Well, he pushed 3 deer.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see it now. Oh,
yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, he pushed 3, and it looks like he's got 4 vills coming out to this other park here in the middle. I think I would have preferred them to go to the group to the south. But
and if you look at Newp's vision, his scout missed the forward mill from Sokol.
Yeah.
By about 1.5 tiles.
So we got a barracks coming down from Newp as well. Sokol, it's got to be a blacksmith. He could go market, stable, or range here for his second building, and then look at a faster uptime.
Yeah, and meanwhile, if you swing the camera up to the top of the map, Steve's already got a barracks, and he's headed over towards our buddy Newp with 4 villagers. I'm not sure what these guys are up to, but
he's going for the deer. You see the deer to the very north.
Some shenanigans incoming, Fluff?
Nah, he's going for those deer in the alcove at the very top. And he may change his plan on that when he passes. No, he's not going to change his plan. But we didn't do the predictions, did we? God damn it, Kansky.
I got a little excited. I thought we were gonna see
some forward barracks shenanigans.
Walling in the TC.
Yeah. And Feudal Age arrives from Newp, the last player to make it there. But double range. I mean, Saracen archers. He could just be looking to do a tatty, no?
What was the challenge that you had? Wall in a house, and make a barracks out of it, or whatever?
Man, I did think about doing a leaderboard tournament, but sheesh, it's so awkward to figure out how you balance that. But leaderboard will be coming back. Don't worry, guys. Play Gamba. Yeah, get a quick Gamba going on, boys, if you want.
I would definitely give the best odds to Steve right now. I'd put Steve at 5-1. Probably Sokol at 3-1, and then Newp at like probably 2.5.
So you think Newp's the favorite then?
Just based on score, yeah.
Well, I would, yeah. The tower from Steve is slightly off-putting, but he has scouts. I like this defensive army. Newp's gonna go forward with some archers. He has a good idea where Sokol is, where Steve is. Sorry, because he's seen the vills. Sorry, go on.
He's going right straight to stone. So I'm guessing he's just going to defend with towers. He's the only vills he's forward with are these 4 deer vills. Newp knows that they're over there. He's going to send a couple of archers
With fletching as well, so these vills should die.
over to harass. Yeah, he's got 2 more on the way as well, so he'll have 4 of them.
But the scary thing about this isn't just that Mongols potentially are benefiting from hunt as well. It's actually that steppe lancers are a thing, and they're very cheap. Hey, Mikey. So, yeah, you got to be concerned for that. And yeah, Castle Age comes in, and that's it. You got to panic now and be like, hang on, what's going to turn up? Will it be a Castle Drop? Will it be Mangandai? Will it be Steppe Lancers? What is just going to happen to me? And Newp will spot the villas this time for Sokol.
Yeah, and he's got to be a little traumatized from last game, right?
I think both players have to be a little traumatized from last game. They like you said, mutually assured destruction, right?
So Newp does get the kill. Meanwhile,
Scouts are here,
Steve's
though.
gonna come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve's gonna come over with the scouts and clean this up. And
So this time, Sokol's being the one that's left the boom and have a relaxing game.
yeah, Steve's already on 8 farms. Noop's on 8 farms as well, but of course the Slav farms are better.
Rest well done. Yeah, Slav farms are really, really strong. Lately, I've always likened Slavs to being a good version of Franks. I know people don't typically look at Franks as being a bad civ, but right now I think Franks are very, like, mid. I don't think they're a great civ. They don't get the last upgrades for their scams, and scams are really strong right now.
So if you were in a show match and you could pick either Slavs or Franks on a map like Arabia or Acclivity, you would take Slavs?
Yeah, I think Slavs offer more. Their eco is better. Cheap castles, same as Franks, granted it's behind the unique tech. The Boyar is really strong as a unit right now. They also get crossbow. Like, they get better infantry than Franks as well. But Steppe Lancers are here, though, from Sokol. And they're raiding Newp. Focusing down the Goldvilles.
So it looks like Sokol didn't really pay much attention to Noop's discussion of them both working on Steve.
Yeah.
At the same time. With friends like this, who needs that?
I mean, you're right, though.
Have you ever seen the Steve Martin movie from the 1970s called The Jerk?
No.
Oh, well, you owe it to yourself. But
Okay.
this reminds me. In the movie, he's got a dog that he named Stupid.
Oh.
And he's living in this travel trailer thing. And somebody breaks into the main character's travel trailer. And he starts yelling, "Stupid, attack! Attack, stupid, attack!" And then the dog starts biting his leg. And he's yelling at the dog, "No, not me! Him! Attack him!"
The archers do get cleaned up. Newp with some nice micro whilst trying to deal with the Steppe Lancer pressure, but good number of Steppe Lancers and good damage done. I think at this point it may be prudent of Sokol to go and poke at Stee. And yeah, that looks like it's on his mind. Good damage done to Newp, and yeah, you want to make sure both players are behind you. Neither player is in Castle Age yet.
Yeah, and yeah, Sokol's got to really feel like he's riding high here. And
yeah, he's definitely in a winning spot, and he can stay there, but I think he needs to apply pressure to both players to do that.
Yeah, well, and that's part of the dynamic that I've come to appreciate about these free-for-all matches is even though Sokol is quite obviously ahead of both of these players, he's still got a decision to make. I mean, he's not going to be able to coast his way to victory here. He's got to decide, do I focus my attention on Newp right now, or
Yeah.
do I divide my attention between Newp and Stee as we see? You know, Stee is Slavs, and he's already on 20 farms. You don't want, I don't care what civ you are, you don't want Slavs to be able to sit there untouched on 20 farms for very long.
Yeah, and obviously, like, Sokol doesn't get to see the stats that we see, so he doesn't know that he's killed 14 of Newp's villages. But, man,
Yeah.
that's so much damage.
Yeah, and not only that, but you also see that a Saracen player is on 3 ranges, and you don't really know how close he is to Castle Age.
Yeah.
So Sokol's still got to keep his head in this game, but it looks like he's trying to focus his attention on Newp and kind of take him out of the game and basically make it a contest between him and Stee. Which,
I don't know if I favor the Mongols in that. Maybe I do. Boyar's really strong. Like,
yeah. And me personally, I think that I would probably divide my attention between the two. I would take at least 3 or 4 of these step lancers and try to get some harassment in.
what I would do is I would buy the rest of the stone for a castle drop Newp, and then send the step lancers to blue once the castle is up. Right? Because then the castle's going to deal with him. You can have minimal attention paid to that. He's still feudal, for Christ's sake. And then focus on your military harassing the other player.
Yeah.
Because Stee has the most vills right now.
Yeah, the age difference here, as Stee's going to try and... He's actually going to kill a villager on the stone over here in Sokol's base. But the step lancers are just going to keep going here.
Newp says go pick on blue. Sokol says no.
Well, that's not, you know, I mean, Newp's a strong player, and I can't blame Sokol for doing this.
Oh, yeah.
I really can't.
Yeah. I mean, granted, he unfortunately didn't make it through to the finals of Division 3, but Kansky rather matter-of-factly told me from the start that he is categorically going to do whatever it takes to win in all of his games. Because, I mean, it's sudden death and there's money on the line, and if it's got to be cheesy and it's got to be a snipe or whatever, he'll do it. Yeah. He doesn't care, he'll do it. And I'm like, man, I respect the shit out of that.
Yeah, you can't blame him.
Yeah, and it's the same for any of the players in this game. If you've got a strategy and you implement that strategy and you're doing it so that you can win the game, fucking go do it.
Yeah. But Stee's coming forward with a siege workshop of his own, and I'm beginning to wonder if Sokol might be overextending himself a little bit here, and letting Stee kind of have
free reign. Yeah, because that's the thing. Stee's going to see that Newp's still in field late, so Newp's not a threat as far as Stee's concerned. Only thing he's got to worry about is the Mongols, so he can just completely bypass Newp at this point.
Yeah, and here come the Knights.
Yeah, a couple of them forward. +1/+1. And Bloodlines as well.
And Sokol with just barely, or I should say, not quite enough to build himself a defensive castle. Where do you put the castle?
Oh, did Newp GG?
If you're Sokol.
Why didn't the resign come through?
I didn't see it either.
I tapped out. Yeah, I didn't get a thing or anything from Capture Age. I think in situations like this, tapping out makes sense. Like, I get that there's still a chance to come back into it. It is still a 1v1v1, but you're surrounded, you're really far behind, and it's potentially a 7-game set, right? So, save your energy.
Yeah.
Save your energy.
All right, so Steve leaves one of his mangonels unprotected and does lose it. And Sokol's got the stone for a castle, but Steve's got towers around his base, so really, I think the only potential for a castle drop for Steve, as far as placement, would be next to the stable here.
Nothing for the lances. Yeah, you needed crossbow, and you would just you were in feudal. You had the feudal army, kind of the opposite of what happened last game, but was Steve had the feudal army and was the one late to Castle Age. But in this case, Sokol was completely untouched again, except he didn't go for a castle drop this time. He went for those cheap step lances and just came over and devastated Jericho. And he devastates a bunch of forward vills here for Steve. And we'll spot the workshop as well. Now, villagers dying are even more important on sudden death because you can't build additional TC. So for every villager gone, that's it. 25 seconds until that villager gets replaced.
Yeah.
You can't make up for it. Yeah.
Sokol with the 7 villager lead right now as well. And the knights here with only +1/+1 are gonna have a rough time fighting against these numbers.
I mean, the steps only have +1 as well.
But Sokol's on his way to the back at Steve's map here with 9 villagers.
Oh boy!
And
we're gonna see the Sokol classic. Oh, the steps are pulling the pikes over there, though. He needs to mark those steps away. Take the pikes somewhere else.
Yeah, not quite sure if this is going to go up, Fluff. 9 villagers, that's a lot, but...
He's going to have to wall them in. If he walls them in, it's fine. If he doesn't, the pikes might be enough. Oh, the steps are coming, though. The steps are coming. And Steve... Yeah, he's got a couple of scouts forward. He's got a couple of knights in the middle of the map, but... The only thing really to defend this is a couple of pikemen. He's going to force up all the resources he's got. And oh, here goes the counter castle. Will both of these castles go up? And what will it cost Steve to get it up? He's catching up quick, though.
Oh.
Those from Sokol are dying. Steve's castle goes up first.
He's actually going to go up first.
It's going to be a doughty. It's going to be a doughty. 82%.
Abort mission.
Just about enough to deny it. And believe it or not, build counter is still dead even. It's 37 to 38. And
now Sokol is just trickling step lancers in.
Oh, more vills are coming. More vills are coming, but Steve's ready for this. He's lost to this before, he says, and is desperately trying to wall this castle in. He will spot the villagers coming, sends knights over to deal with it.
Yeah, and Sokol, I think, at this point is just pushing all his chips into the middle of the table.
Has he got any vills left at home? Yeah, he's still got some vills at home. About 15. But the walls around the castle are pretty much completed. Oh, 2 vills have made it in. 3 vills have made it in. And the step lancers are going to block for them as well. No way.
Wow.
And the wall's deleted from Steve in an effort to get back and stop this castle. But up it goes. And now, Batards has to be the play. Rams and Batards. Because that TC is going to be focused down.
That's a desk puncher right there.
Yeah, man, he was so close. His military were blocking his vills. Like, that's why the walls didn't finish with Sokol. Gets it up. It cost him a lot. He's only got 20 villagers left, and 2 of them are the heroes that finished this castle. Steve making the executive decision to send his military forward. I think that's a smart play. If he sends his knights and his rams forward, I think his TC lives long enough, and he can just go kill Sokol's TC with his own military, right?
Yeah, and now Steve's got rams out, one of them's headed back towards his base, and another one headed towards Sokol's base. I like this decision
Yeah.
from Steve to go forward with the army and
Sokol
do damage.
throws pretty much what was left of his step lancers. He's trying to mass up some petards. Now we've seen a full health TC dies to 7 petards. This TC is missing 500 health. Step lancers can tank as well. Bro, this is... Oh, the petards are going. But there's only 2 of them. One of them doesn't make it. The second one does. Those are popped out for Steve. I'm going to shift click both town centers. But I think Steve has weathered the storm.
Yeah. Well, as long as he doesn't run out of wood.
Which he has.
He's out of wood.
But Sokol's army, it's not under the TC. The Ram was killed by Vils, and the rest of the army died / dispersed amongst the eco. So this castle is the defining point of this game now. The castle lives long enough to kill Steve's TC, or Steve probably wins the game just based on eco. I guess.
Yeah, and good job by Steve. Sokol had a ram hitting the castle, and he used a petard to kill the ram.
Nice. We do love petard play.
And yeah, Sokol's pretty well untouched at home.
He's adding more petards in now.
So Sokol weathered the storm.
He just went too soon, though, with those petards. If he waited a little longer, I think he would have got this. Steve needs to wall it off. Yet Steve could delete his farms here and just put like a stone gate in front of his TC or something. Or even like a fucking market or something. Something that's going to make the petards have to walk around, right?
Yeah. Houses, anything. Palisades.
Yeah. Because I know losing Village doesn't feel good, but you need something to keep this TC alive. It has to live. Oh god. Castle. Oh god, the 6. The 6 petards. Oh wow.
There it goes.
Oh wow. Sokol with the petards takes the TC, takes game 2. And will put himself on the board.
So we've got 1 win each for Steve and Sokol.
Yeah. Newp yet to jump on that board as we move on to Haboob.